Nicole wishing to speak against the notice of motion for 11.1. Thank you. You have 5 minutes. I will ring the bell at 4 minutes, 30 seconds.
Thank you. Regarding Council's action on social media posts, as a resident and a member of the Ratepayers Association, I have grave concerns about this motion. If you happen to swear or yell at me, it would have no impact on me because your aggression is not my problem. It's yours. If you swear or yell at me, it's your stuff. And because I'm a grown-up, I understand that it's not personal and I choose not to take it personally. Now, if you don't have this level of adulthood happening in your council, you might need to look at some training or coaching so that your staff can appropriately handle and avoid conflict. Communicating through yelling and swearing is immature, but it's also immature for you to take it on board, especially in the public sector work environment. Everyone in a public role needs to have a certain level of reasonable intestinal fortitude, resilience. If this is not happening, you don't have the right, if this is not happening, you don't have the right people in the right roles. And on the other side, this motion suggests that it is actually happening to your staff. And if it is happening, why is it happening? Is it because you're not listening? Your proposal is a Band-Aid, or in this case, gaffer tape, to solve your problem, which is the effect or the end result of an action, and it won't go away. You need to fix the cause. Why are people choosing to communicate in this way? It is because they can see when something is wrong and they are not being heard? Is it because they are trying to draw attention to what they see as being done inappropriately by you and they are being ignored and they are trying to speak and get remedy and they are not being heard and they are getting frustrated to the point they are now starting to yell? It's a circular problem and it's fueled by silence and secrecy. You should be thankful that this information is coming your way, not shutting it down. And where is the line in the sand? Who gets to determine what level of communication is deemed to be intimidating, harassing, humiliating, slanderous, defamatory, or trolling? Who? Who decides what is inappropriate? Is it when you simply don't like what's being said because it affects your agenda? Who has the right and authority to judge? A judge in a courtroom does, but not the mayor, not a councillor, and not a public servant. This motion looks and sounds to me that when you don't like a conversation, if it's simply uncomfortable, you want it to be able to go away, to make it disappear. Similar to the inappropriate gag orders that you've also imposed to people at certain times already. What is the budget for this? The monitoring, the legal action, etc., it's open-ended and you're virtually broke. The people you supposedly serve are really frustrated with you. So if we express our concerns, you'll be bankrupt in no time with legal action that you're proposing to use. So it would seem. In section B, regarding the live streaming and recording, is this a public meeting? A community meeting? Is your role as a local council to be of service to us, the people? Why should we need permission from you to record a public event? Are we in China, for God's sake? You're just stepping over the line here. Case in point is that bushfire resilience meeting mentioned on page 362. The allegations made may or may not be true. If a video had been recorded, you would actually have the evidence to prove your claims. But if there was actually a video in this case, would someone from your team feel humiliated because their behaviour was exposed? Then what happens? Humiliation often comes from the fact that somebody did something wrong and were exposed. Who has the right to shut down public opinion or speech if they're trying to expose corruption, whether it's perceived or otherwise? Freedom of speech is our fundamental right. I hunted down that social media post you mentioned where you claimed people were threatened, intimidated, etc. And in my opinion, He described how the meeting staff took offence to very valid questions in an attempt at robust discussion on costs and accountability. The video was direct, sharp, informative, and entertaining. Yes, there were unnecessary expletives at the end. And if we had a video of the meeting, we would have had the context. Currently, it looks like the response wasn't too far off the mark. Maybe none of this is spent winding up. Maybe none of you have spent a lot of time in China, but I have. And what you are proposing feels like pure communism to me, and it sickens me to the core. I've been in my own businesses for 40 years, large and small, in a multitude of industries, including mental health and business coaching. Ethical and honest business dealings never require such restrictions. You don't need these rules. I think you need to tidy up your act. Thank you.
Our final speaker is Matthew Nolty.